Hey everyone, it's Ethan or Miist back again for another video today, and welcome back to the channel, guys. We're here again for yet another video. Betty is also here for the video, and yeah, we got some movies and TV shows to talk about that I watched last week. I had a pretty busy week watching 2 seasons of TV and 15 movies, I believe. So yeah, and I also had some personal stuff going on. And yeah, anyways, let's get into it. Let's start it off with my least favorite of the 2 seasons of TV that I watched. Starting it off with season one of Grey's Anatomy, which is the first time I'm watching Grey's Anatomy. Mel and I are watching it together, and I ranked it a 68 out of 100. I definitely didn't love season one. So far, I think I am enjoying season two more. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm not enjoying many of these characters yet, unfortunately. So we'll see if that changes. Let's move on to Exo Kitty season three, which Mel and I binged on, I think, Friday. Yeah, Friday morning. It was Easter weekend, so I've been off for like the past 4 days, which has been really nice. But yeah, anyways, Friday we grinded all of this in one sitting, and we both really enjoyed it. Mel, of course, ranked it a 5 star. Exo Kitty is her favorite show, like undeniably, I think at this point. And yeah, so she had a great time with it. I really enjoyed it. It's not my favorite season. I think season two is my favorite, although I don't remember much of season two, truthfully, and I definitely don't remember ranking it a 4.5 stars. So I wanted to rewatch it, but we just didn't get a chance to. So maybe sometime we will. But nonetheless, Exo Kitty, I ranked it an 83 out of 100. So hi, Kitty. Thank you for the kisses. All right, let's get into the movies. And I'm not gonna lie, I had a rough fucking week. My favorite movie of the week is only an 85 out of 100, and that's the only one that I ranked above a 3 star this week. So yeah, it was not a great week. So let's start it off with my least favorite of the week, which is Crash, directed by David Cronenberg. Which I'm not gonna lie, I fully thought this was like the Oscar Crash from 2004. I never even realized they were two different movies. But yeah, this one did not enjoy. Ranked it a 7 out of 100. It almost made my bottom 10 movies of all time list. I really, really did not enjoy this. Clearly, um, yeah, I had no interest in this movie whatsoever. David Cronenberg's goal, David Cronenberg's movies is a goal of mine for this year, and I watched three of them this week, and I did not like any of them. So I'm gonna probably have to space out some of his movies, but nonetheless, Crash ranked a very low 7 out of 100. So let's move on to one of the themes of the week, which is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I watched all 9 movies this week, really all 9 movies this weekend, I should say. But yeah, let's go. Starting it off with my least favorite, which is The Return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which I believe is number 4. This is the one with Renee Zellweger and Matthew McConaughey, which I ranked an 18 out of 100. This movie is really fucking long. It felt so fucking long. And yeah, it's my least favorite of the franchise. I'm not going to spend much time on any of these movies, guys. Sorry, I might make a movie more in depth talking about the franchise, but as of right now, no. Let's move on to Leatherface, which I ranked a 20 out of 100. This movie wasn't even that bad, but there was a lot of really bad moments in it, don't get me wrong. But that final ending sequence, I guess, like when they give us the twist, I feel like it's just a twist to have a twist. There's a very obvious choice of what we do here in the reveal of Leatherface, and it's just a stupid fucking twist for some reason. So nonetheless, 20 out of 100, did not enjoy this. No. Let's move on to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, which are ranked a 27 out of 100. Definitely props to Toe Hooper for completely changing up the vibes of this franchise with this movie, but it did not work for me at all. At all, at all, at all. I ranked it a 27 out of 100. Let's move on to Leatherface, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. And yeah, this is an interesting one. Really, this entire movie I feel like takes place in like dim forest, and you can't even see anything that's going on. So not great either. 30 out of 100. Let's move on to Crimes of the Future, another Cronenberg movie, which I ranked a 32 out of 100. The opening sequence, like literally the opening scene, I'm like, whoa, it looks like we're on like a different planet. There's some sort of ship that interests me, and it just looked beautiful. I'm like, this might be really good. And that was the only scene from the movie I enjoyed. So, didn't enjoy this one either, unfortunately. Um, yeah, the tattooed organs and dead children. I don't know. I didn't even understand what was happening, to be honest. And yeah, maybe it was above my head. I don't know. 32 out of 100. I didn't enjoy it. So let's move on to Texas Chainsaw 3D, which is not great either. I ranked it a 34 out of 100. It's also kind of pro serial killing for some reason. Um, yeah, yeah, no. Let's move on to my favorite Cronenberg and my last Cronenberg of the week, which was Existence, which I ranked a 38 out of 100. I don't know what's going on. I didn't get or understand anything that was going on in this movie. But honestly, I didn't hate this movie. I just don't think it's good. I think it's kind of bad. So 38 out of 100. And yeah, Cronenberg's very good at making me feel grossed out at some of his stuff. So 38 out of 100. Let's move on to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning, which I ranked a 40 out of 100. Um, Also not good. It's very similar to the 2003. I feel like it does capture the vibe of that 2003 Texas Chainsaw Massacre since this is a sequel, but it's just not interesting and at all. But I think this doesn't commit some of the crimes that some of the other movies I find does, where it's just awful. Like, I don't think it's that bad. I just think it's so uninteresting and bland. And I ranked it a 40 out of 100. Well, let's move on to the Netflix original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which I ranked a 52 out of 100. And I seem to be higher on this movie than most. And I think a big portion of this movie is because, or a big portion of that is because for the first time in this franchise, I'm actually rooting for the horror villain, which I always find myself rooting for the horror villain rather than these characters. It's very rare I'm actually rooting for the characters I find in these types of big horror icon franchises. But this is the first time I actually found myself rooting for Leatherface because he was awesome in this movie. He's low key aura farming. He's an absolute menace to society in this movie. The way that the whole fucking bus lines up for him in the kill feed is crazy. Um, yeah, bro went nuclear. So, anyways, rank it a 52 out of 100. It's not good, but it's okay. And I at least had some enjoyment in this. But my God, these might be the dumbest characters I've seen in any movie ever. Absolutely fucking horrendous, man. 52 out of 100. Well, let's move on to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 2003, which this is like a lot of people's like sleeper favorite of the franchise, which to be honest, I can definitely see it. I ranked it a 55 out of 100. I didn't love it. I find it's very 2000s grimy horror, which I don't necessarily love typically. But I would like to rewatch this one, to be honest, because again, I think this isn't bad. So 55 out of 100. It's my second favorite of the franchise. All right, let's move on to Forbidden Fruits, which I ranked a 62 out of 100. Um, Another movie that I think is kind of like okay, but it's very comically campy. And I feel like it really leaned into that, which I did enjoy. So that was fun. 62 out of 100. And I like the cast as well. The cast is fun. Just these iconic queens, I'll say. I'm pretty sure I was the only man in this theater and I got a Yoshi popcorn bucket, and I felt a little weird about it, especially because I was like the second last to leave. There was two girls behind me, and as the credits were rolling, I decided to leave. And they started laughing as soon as I stood up, and I'm like, "Are they laughing at me?" And I just have a bad memory with this movie now because I keep thinking of that, and I keep thinking that they were laughing at me, even though they probably weren't. But nonetheless, I ranked it a 62 out of 100. Let's move on to my top three. Sorry. With the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which I ranked a 65 out of 100. This is the original. I seen it a couple years ago in theaters for the 50th anniversary, and I didn't love it at all, to say the least. I really struggled to find any enjoyment in it, and anything really good in it, to be honest. I just did not enjoy it whatsoever. But this time I can definitely see the genius in it a little bit. I feel like this is very similar to the Halloween franchise. When I first watched the original Halloween, I did not enjoy it, but when I rewatched it last year, I really enjoyed it a lot more than the original, or than the first time I watched it. Which this is a little bit similar, not quite the same as high of a rating that I boosted from like Halloween from the first watch to the second watch, but still, I did boost this rating like 20 points from like a 44, 45 to a 65 out of 100. So I think it's decent. Again, I can see some of the genius in this, and Leatherface in this is pretty damn intimidating. And there's some pretty good like fear mongering in this movie. But again, I don't think it's anything great. So let's move on to my second favorite watch of the week, which is A Bug's Life, a which I ranked a 69 out of 100. It's really disappointing watching this as an adult. I loved this movie when I was a kid. This was one of my most played movies when I was a kid, which is also crazy to think about because this is like low key a horror movie. This movie is kind of insane. But yeah, I did not love this movie, unfortunately. I thought there was some good moments. I thought it was okay most of the movie, though. Ranked at a 69 out of 100. Mel and I were both very disappointed with this movie because we both remember liking it more as kids. So that's surprising and that kind of sucked, but ranked at a 69 out of 100. And let's move on to my favorite watch of the week, also my favorite movie of the week, which was the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which not surprised that I liked it, ranked it at 85 out of 100. Mel and I both enjoyed it. I think Mel ranked it like a 96 or something, a 92, somewhere around there. We both really enjoyed it. Not surprising, we both really enjoy the original as well. Um, Plus, this movie's all about Yoshi. Yoshi's my favorite character in Mario, and I absolutely love Ninja. Ninja's my go-to player in Mario Party Jamboree. So, yeah, overall, it was not a great week, but it was eventful to say the least. So, yeah. Anyways, thank you guys all so much for watching. Hopefully, you did enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.